Hey, what's up, guys? Alright, so I just purchased this body glove inflatable stand-up paddleboard. I just received this board today. I got it in the mail today. I bought it from Costco online. It was like 470 bucks or something like that. And I'm going to make this video kind of discussing how my experience was for my first time actually using it out on open water, which was today. Worst possible day you could actually ride one of these things. It's like it's like almost 60 degrees outside, but there's like a gale force wind, like it's like 20 to 30 mile an hour wind gusts today. And I just kind of ignored that because I was just kind of stoked that I got this thing in the mail today, and I really wanted to go freaking try it out in the water. So before I actually went out with it, I inflated it in my house to make sure it would hold air. I brought it out to my pool over here, and my pool's like 46 degrees right now, so it's freaking freezing cold, and it's windy, so it's even colder outside. So I threw the thing into my pool, and I was like, whatever, this thing's like 3 feet wide, I'll just jump on this bitch and just freaking sail right across the top of the water in the pool like a boss. But nope, I jumped onto it, and the board sunk down, and it basically spit me right off into the water, into the pool. Freaking froze my ass off. I jumped out. I got back on it again just because I was kind of pissed off that it spit me off. And then I was like, okay. When I tried getting off of it, I don't know why, but I'm just stupid. I got to the edge of the pool, and I kind of thought I'd be able to balance myself with one foot on the board. No. No, that ain't gonna happen. As soon as I lifted my foot up to step out onto the edge of the pool, freaking board took off, went back into the freaking drink again. And this time, I was almost completely submerged under the water, so I was like, holy crap. I freaking got out, ran into the house, got into a hot shower real fast. It's like, alright. Played around with it some more, just kind of skimmed around on my knees on it, and I was like, okay, I gotta get this thing out. So I was on my way down to a lake down here. I had it loaded up in my van, and I was gonna head straight down to this lake. I just wanted to find a spot where it was nice shallow water, something like that, where I can just kind of just maybe putt around a little bit and give her a shot. And I was headed down to Lake Ray Hubbard, to a little park over there that a friend of mine recommended. But then I got a message from another friend of mine on Facebook who told me to try out this other smaller little pond, I guess it's sort of like a lake size, but it's more like a pond. It's at one of the local parks over here in Richardson, off Renner Road and Breckenridge. And so I was like, oh, cool, thanks. So I freaking pulled in there, got my board in my van here. I got there to the little pond. It looked kind of a little choppy. I was like, oh, it's not too bad. It wasn't like really that smooth, but the wind gusts were picking up. I mean, I was sitting in my van, and the wind was moving my van. Like, my van was shifting. I was like, oh, crap. Alright, so I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna go do it. And I brought like a water bottle and my phone and a bunch of other junk with me, but I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm not gonna bring my phone, I'm not bringing water, nothing. I'm just gonna inflate this thing, throw it in there, let's see what we can do. So I inflated the board. I lugged it down to the little pond, and the wind is blowing me as I'm bringing the thing down there. And it's also a workout inflating this thing with that little manual pump. So I mean, you're sitting there and you're pumping that thing up to 15 psi, and you'll almost work up a sweat doing it. So I was kind of sort of like drained a little bit after I pumped it up. I was like, oh man, I'm freaking hot, but it's windy, it's a little bit cold. I was like, whatever. Went down there. I'm unloading this SUP board into the water. I was like, all right, I'm gonna start out on my knees. So I just slipped right onto that thing, got on my knees, and started paddling around a little bit. And it felt like I wasn't really going anywhere. I was like kind of looking at the surroundings, and I was like, man, the wind was kind of pushing me and blowing me back. And I started to like kind of like lock my right arm out and engage my core a little bit more and give it a little bit more thrust on that pull through. And I immediately noticed that I was just starting to skim right across that water. And once I started working, I was definitely moving across that little pond. And it was pretty cool, man. I was on my knees pretty much most of the way. I tried to stand up at one point, but the wind was coming in from the north and the west, and it was like shifting around like 20-30 miles an hour. So it was coming. Sometimes it was coming from the north, then it would gust from the west. So when I got up, I was fine. I was like, okay, cool, I'm standing up. Then the north wind came in. Then my body's like, hold up, bitch. What the hell's going on over here? I'm on this inherently unstable platform. Wind is coming, so we're going to compensate. But then the wind backed off, and then my body like overcompensated. Then you start trembling and stuff, and then the west wind would cut in and kind of tip the edge of the board into the water. And I was like, all right, damn this, I'm not doing that shit. No, it's not going to work. I mean, I was just like a massive wind sail out there, standing there like this. So got back down on my knees and just kind of paddled around. A little turtle came up and visited me. I think he wanted to jump on the board and go for a little ride, but he came up, said hi, and then he took off. But overall, it was a really, really good experience. It was definitely a workout. I did a 1 mile loop around this little lake, and it only took like maybe 20 minutes total. It wasn't really that much, but felt like a pretty good workout. I definitely need to work on my form and stuff like that, and I really want to get standing on that thing and start working it. And one of the reasons why I purchased the board was primarily for that core workout, and also to build up some more strength in my back and my upper neck and stuff like that. My plans are to continue to use this stand-up paddle board at different locations, to bring it with me when I travel. I do plan on bringing it with me if I go out of town. I do travel sometimes for work, and sometimes I see really nice spots where I could unload one of those paddle boards and maybe get a nice little workout and have some fun. But I definitely want to travel with it, and then in the local area here, I'd like to try doing like the Rowlett Creek possibly. And also maybe Lake Grapevine. I want to go out there and do a little bit of exploring with it. I'm also planning on putting the dogs on it too, the beagles, but might not be soon, because the board it doesn't have a round nose, so it's got a pointy nose, so it's definitely not. I don't think it's the most stable board that you can buy. The main thing that kind of caught my eye with this board was the fact that it was inflatable, so I would be able to deflate it, roll it up real small, throw it in my van, which I got in the back of the van right now. It's awesome. It's small, and that was the main buying factor for me. So there it is. Here it's kind of rolled up. I got it rolled up right in there in the bag. And there's the bag. That's how big it is. There's a little paddle. Paddle fits in the bag too. I just didn't feel like stuffing it in there. That's it.